we were talking with the landlord of this building. We actually had him on the show. Carlos Molnar with Soul Design Studio. I was telling you before we started the podcast, he renovated the whole building.
Yeah.
When they were under renovation, they were cutting out a section of the entrance, and the entire floor dropped like 3 inches.
I saw this.
Right?
Yeah, you shared this. This was
So
cool.
it was either in his head, he's like, okay, it was a sinkhole or
Yeah.
something else. They dug it up. Smugglers Tunnel.
That's so cool.
What the hell is what's going on with the Smugglers
Underground
tunnels?
tunnels. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but when Mr. Ybor built Ybor City, of course, he thought, I don't want my city to flood. So he built it up, started piling dirt as high as he could until they can lay the roads. You know, the bricks that are on the floors out there, those are all from ballast boats, which if you're not familiar with that term, like if a captain goes to Baltimore.
The bricks,
On the streets.
the Pentagon bricks, or
No,
the actual
the
street?
ones that are in the streets that say like Baltimore, Augusta, Catskills. They were brought here on ballast boats, which like if a captain goes to Catskills, New York, and he unloads his ship, you can't bring your ship unbalanced out to sea. It will tip over. So they put heavy things like bricks in your cargo area just to weigh your ship down. And then it's smooth sailing. When you arrive in Tampa Port, he goes, I don't need these bricks anymore. Keep them. So literally, they just got free bricks that are still on the floor right now.
Oh, that's incredible.
And there's something else that's even more incredible that they used all the time on ballast boats. Granite. Which, as you know, as somebody who's in real estate, granite is not useless anymore. It was back in the day. But all the curbs of Ybor City are made out of granite.
Yeah.
You'll notice it as you walk around. And the granite slabs go down about 6 feet under the ground. They're huge.
Holy shit.
That's like an iceberg effect. You can only see this much of it. That's, by the way, my go-to at the bars. Whenever somebody's like, oh, Mr. Tour Guide, tell me something I don't know. I go, your curb's made of granite. And they look at it, they go, oh, it is made of granite.
Is that why when my wife parks my car, it scratches
Yes.
off the rim so bad? Because it's granite?
I can always tell who's visiting Ybor or who's been here before just how they park their car on the wall, on the granite there. But yeah,
Oh
eventually.
my God, look at these tunnels.
Exactly.
So how extensive are we talking about?
Oh, they were pretty. I mean, they had tile floors because the prostitutes going from spot to spot, they don't want to get their shoes dirty. They had to put a little tile down there. When they were discovered, they thought, oh, these might be like sewers or something, and then they realized, oh no, this is pretty intricate. This is a whole system that goes to the port. I don't know how far his went that was down here, but also it was probably for hiding booze or moving people around.
Well, what they hit was an area that had actually been filled in at some point with coquina concrete or coquina mix, which I know is a form of concrete they used about 100 years ago.
Wow.
So it was filled in at some point. What we're looking at now, these are
that's a
these are
pretty good one right
finished
there.
off and obviously not filled in. When did the tunnels start to become known and found out? I feel like this is a recent thing.
From what? Well, of course, anybody in the know knew it back in the day, but
Right.
I think it became more like during urban renewal in the 60s when they started kind of knocking down casitas and building HCC and stuff like that. And they started discovering these things, and that's when it became known, like, in the public's eye. You know, back in the day, though, everybody knew about the tunnels, but there's funny stories about all this kind of stuff. I mean, when they would come break up gambling rings and stuff, they just go down in the tunnels and hide. Look, that's pretty good. I don't know how tall that guy is, but that's plenty of room for like people to sneak around. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Live by Night with Ben Affleck.
Yes.
That's, I don't want to give away the ending or anything, but the tunnels are pretty big in the ending.
That actually is a phenomenal movie
Yeah.
if you want to know about what Ybor was probably like back then 100 plus years ago.
I thought they did a really, really good job. I wish they would have shot it here, which they almost did, but things happen.
Politics, I guess.
Politics is
Apparently,
exactly what
Georgia paid that movie studio more. So what they ended up doing in Georgia was building Ybor City in some rural town.
It was
in Georgia.
exactly like Ybor.
Yeah.
They even had the Lector and all that stuff in the factory. It was
They
pretty
should have
good.
done it here, but it's all good.
Is
We'll
what
get
it
some new movies and some books.
I got a
I'm
feeling
hoping.
that we're going to have a lot of that coming up pretty soon.
So these tunnels, what were they originally built for? I keep seeing like, hey, they're not smugglers' tunnels, they're sewers. That's what they were.
Yeah.
It was an infrastructure.
Yeah, sewers are just sewers. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Just a couple
Yeah.
of sewers down there.
You don't know nothing.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I might have been kind of both. But really, though, they were. I mean, everybody pictures Florida. They think, sea level. Go to Miami, they're like below sea level. But Tampa, actually, there's a part in Ybor City that's about like 30 to 40 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
There's basements all around Ybor City.
I noticed that actually on the drive here today. I was on Adamo Drive driving up north. I forgot what street, but I was like, dude, I'm going uphill. Huh,
Yeah.
interesting. I figured it was natural.
Florida
It's probably
hill, yeah.
part natural, part
It was built up. Hell, Mr. Ybor, his factory, which is it's I call it Mr. Ybor's industrial complex. It has a couple big buildings that he built there, but his factory is built on a big hill because, of course, like I said, he thought if my city floods, flood away from my factory.
Right.
And I get people to that hill and I go, look at that big hill you're on top of, and they all laugh because like they're from Germany or they're from
anywhere but Florida.
Rio de Janeiro, and they're looking at this going, this is not a hill. But San Francisco, they're all like, come on, man. I go, this is a Florida hill. But yeah, there are basements throughout these places. There's most of the original buildings have basements.
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually see the windows on the block north of here on 8th Avenue.
Right.
There's a building kind of where Rock Brothers is, and you can see like the little windows down in the basement.
Yep.
And like you said, we're built up pretty high. Those might stay dry. I don't know.
In fact, of course, storm surges and all that stuff are issues, but like we don't get a lot of flooding, knock on wood.
Right.
Or out here in Ybor City. It's also, I think those old bricks help because the water just kind of seeps into them. Because like I said, it's just dirt on top of each other underneath those bricks.